seen your antecedents. You have been focused in the building of especially the other people and the sense of family and cohesion was prevalent in PDP before now. So how would you describe what went into that and why we're seeing the obvious discord as it is today?
Obvious discord with regard to what?
Cohesion. We're lacking cohesion in PDP now as against what it used to be.
Yes. I was the first state secretary of PDP. My chambers, number 20 Zenei Street, was the first secretariat of PDP. I gave it to them during the INEC registration, and that is where we were meeting. And most of the meetings in PDP at its formative stage were being held in Ibuzo at the Gordon Hotel. That's where all the candidates in 1999 were cleared. That was what I may call, in quote, the headquarters of our operations in 1999 for all the candidates of PDP, both for the council election and in all the other elections. And to that extent, you can understand what I mean, that the hotel in my town was the clearing point of all, not just one, including the governorship election of IBORI. Everybody, our headquarters was Gordon Hotel, Ibuzo. And I was the only principal officer of the PDP then that was resident in Asaba. My chairman, James Manager, was based in Warri. Ibori was in Warri. Amori was in Warri. Somonogba was in Warri. All of them were in Warri. So I was the only man resident, the prince who was resident in Asaba, and do most of the interactions on behalf of the party. In which case, whenever they are coming from Warri, they will stop over for me to debrief them before they continue this thing. And in the 1999, most of the gadgets, the equipment in which we used in monitoring the elections of the 1999 were installed in my office. And on the election day, I was arrested and declared an armed robber by the opponents because they wanted to take my life. I was handcuffed and brought to the government house Asaba. And then is it exactly the then military administrator? They brought me there and threw me there just because they wanted to frustrate the PDP from winning the election. He took Obeni Sobotier. Within the hour, I was acting as the president. You know him, Obeni Sobotier was acting as the acting governor for that period. What I may say, because the governor was this thing, when he came out and he saw me with a handcuff, he was not asking them, this man can't be I know him, he's my friend because we were together in government in UPN when I was political secretary, so he knows me very well. I knew him was an Awuchi Polytechnic, and when he came, we made him the government made him a chairman of what they call the education board then in Uyeli area. And we became friends. So he was like, how can you say this man? Please remove the handcuff. And they removed the handcuff from me. So how can you say this? I know this is the state secretary of UPN. How can you say it? Because they wanted to rig election in this town. And I was frustrating everything they were doing. Why am I giving you the genesis? The genesis that we worked as a team at that point. The injury to one person is injury to the other. And then we had a leader. That's when I hear people talk about Ibori. Ibori was a rich man, very rich man before he became governor, extremely rich. He funded the election of this party in 1999. He had the money and he was spending money. So if it was money, we didn't lack money. And he treated all of us then as colleagues, mates. He doesn't take decisions on his own. I can give you an example. There was a situation we had a problem about the council chairman in Asaba, Oshimile South. Ibori had his position. I had my position. Ibori walked into my bedroom when I was living in my family house in Isieke. to beg me to change my position. And I told him, he said, I can't change it. That is my position. And he quickly came out of his car and drove back to Warri. He didn't argue with me because we were colleagues, we were friends. We had we had a vision of where we were going. It was when IBORI won, he summoned many meetings in Warri for us to discuss the government, that this is a government, our own government. We saw the government as our own, where collective decisions are taken. So if you are attacking IBORI, you are attacking me because I'm part of the decision. If you are attacking IBORI, you are attacking Amori. You are attacking almost all of us who are in the government. And so we saw it as a family where everybody is allowed to air his views. Everybody is allowed to say what he feels that will make the government proceed. I'll give you an example again. OKOWA, the governor was brought up by IWERIEBOR, Humphrey IWERIEBOR. He made him everything. He picked him up when he left university. Made him a secretary of the council, made him chairman of the council, brought him. Somehow, in between them, OKOWA and the IWERIEBOR had a problem. I don't want to go into that. But if I go into that, some of you will not like what I will say. But at the appropriate time, we'll say it. And the man felt betrayed by OKOWA. And so he stood his ground that OKOWA will not be appointed commissioner. And came. But we said, no, OKOWA has worked with us. And so IBORI could not understand, could not face IWERIEBOR, because all of us in the state then saw IWERIEBOR as our father figure. We all fear him, we all respect him. It was the symbol of our struggle in this area. It was like a father figure to IBORI. You know what happened? Because we have all collectively taken decision, when IBORI announced the commission and he saw IWERIEBOR coming from the back door, as a sitting governor, he dodged, entered his car and ran away. Because he didn't know how to confront him. So what am I trying to say? We saw ourselves, and all of us, IWERIEBOR drove to my office. Then I was working. I saw, Daddy, I beg. He went to Amori. Everybody was begging him, Daddy, please, please, sir. You know, he went to everybody was begging him because we knew, and it was a decision that had already been collected. It had been mentioned to us by then. That he was this. So what am I trying to say? It was a collective. We saw ourselves as stakeholders in the government. That is what we had. And you saw when IBORI had his problem, everybody was trooping to Kaduna, everybody was trooping to London, because we saw him as the leader of the struggle. So when people say IBORI ruled, what is 4-something billion? What is 4-something million pounds? So IBORI then, unless you don't know him, unless you don't know IBORI, then you are talking about 4.2 million then. Because he was a rich guy, he was a big boy. They were the big boys in Abuja. So that's not to say that I'm defending anybody. I'm telling you the way we saw. But with that, his wealth that he had about that time as a person, we saw the government because he was interacting with everybody. We were sharing ideas. At times we overruled him. We overrule, we take yes and say no. And he will just say, okay. IBORI will go out for lunch. He will invite some of us to come and join him in the lunch. Even as commissioners, he will call you. I'm going for lunch, let's meet in the house. You will leave your office and go and eat the lunch with the governor. And then after you're going back to the office. On the lunch day, you will tell, hey, you did this. I'm not happy with what you did though. You did this. He will not scold us in the public, even if he feels offended. He will, in fact, most of the cases, it is during that lunch that he will even tell you, Honorable Commissioner, I'm not happy with this thing you are doing, or how do you correct this, or what? Then it's also on the lunch, he will tell us, what are you people's idea about this is what? So it was like a collective government. That is not what is happening now. That's not what is happening now. So, where somebody feels he knows all, he knows everything. He's an expert. Then, what do you expect? You sit down on your own and watch what is happening. You sit down on your own and know watch what is happening, and then listen. So, The meetings, when Udaka was here as governor, I was chairman. When Udaka was here, I was chairman of the party. And we used to meet, even in the absence of IBORI, to share our views on the governance and advise him on some of the things he was doing. And in the meetings, we will tell him, Your Excellency, this is what you think is, this is what you think, this is what you think, this is what you think, this is how we feel. From time to time, we'll invite, even if it is only for us to sit down and share our ideas together. We used to do it. At the beginning of this government, IBORI has come back. The man tried as much as possible so that we can all be meeting at all from time to time. Some members of your National Assembly, members of some members of National Assembly, members of the State Assembly, we meet from time to time to say to look at the direction of the government. It's not happening again. At least to the best of my ability, those that are force of it's not happening again. So when you see like somebody like me, when you know you are not wanted, you stay on your own. At least nobody is going to drive me from this house because this is my house. You watch. I am a strong believer that power is transient. There's nothing that in this world that is permanent. Today is the 60th anniversary of this government. In the next 2 years, by this time, everybody will be swearing another governor in Delta State. By exactly today, in the next 2 years from today, we will swear another governor in Delta State. Maybe by this hour, we would have gotten a new governor in Delta State. So, I don't think that. So what I am saying in essence is that nobody is fighting anybody. So for people like me, what we say is, if you don't need me, if you think I'm not intelligent enough, you think I don't have anything to, I stay in my house. I cannot defend you for an action which I'm not part of. So that's what I can say about that.